Hey y'all, I'm Dominique and welcome back to the channel, The Domino Effect, where we talk about all things business, entrepreneurship, and financial literacy, along with mindset. And today we're talking about something real, your triggers. How to let people stop triggering you, how to detach from negativity, and how to protect your peace no matter what's going on around you. Have you ever had somebody talk slick to you and then you spiraled all day? Or ever let a comment mess up your mood, your focus, or even your whole weekend? That's not peace, guys. That's programming, and you can totally detach from it. Letting go is not a weakness, it's a power. But before we get into that, go ahead and hit that like button and that subscribe button so I can continue to make more free courses and trainings just like this one. If you've ever had one of those days where somebody says something, and it could be the smallest thing, and suddenly your chest is tightening, it even could be a little side comment, like, you don't know what you're talking about, you're so crazy, you're so dramatic, why do you always take things so personal? Don't you know I'm just joking? And boom. Your whole energy has shifted. You try to brush it off and you're telling yourself, well, I'm just gonna let it go, but here's the thing, you can't. It's difficult. Hours later, the conversation is still looping in your mind. It's replaying. Now you're feeling misunderstood. And then you start to wonder, why is this even bothering me so much? And more importantly, why do I let other people affect me so deeply? Let's be honest, guys, staying unbothered is not easy. People are going to test your patience, your boundaries, your energy. And if you do not know how to detach and train yourself how to detach, you're just going to spend your whole life reacting instead of rising above. So today's class is about your mental health, your business, and your peace. Because when you're constantly triggered, it sucks away your focus, your time, your energy, and your joy. Today we're looking into something that's going to change your life forever, and that is the art of detachment. Detachment isn't avoidance, it's not pretending, it's not becoming totally heartless, right? You're not some heartless bitch, right? Detachment looks a lot different. It's actually when you stop arguing with people who don't want to understand you, stop needing closure from those who never gave it to you, and you stop you stop internalizing somebody else's problems. You stop personalizing somebody else's pain or their immaturity. When you detach, it's not that you stop caring, it's that you stop carrying it all. Real grounded, powerful emotion comes when you stop letting people pull at your strings, control your emotions, control your reactions, or even just disturb your peace. And here's the truth that my mentor taught me that at first stung a little bit, and it might sting for you, but it is so freeing once you understand this. Your triggers it's not people that are inflicting it on you, right? It's not the people that are triggering you. It's your unhealed wounds. Okay, let that sink in. It's not the people that are triggering you, it's your unhealed wounds. Let that sink in, y'all. The person who didn't text you back, it's not about the message, okay? It's not about the message. It's that you felt abandoned before. Maybe by your parents, maybe by your ex, maybe by, somebody in your life, a loved one, left you feeling abandoned. Maybe it's a friend who's constantly joking with you, but joking at your expense or constantly roasting you. Okay, I personally don't get the roast. It's not for me, but maybe you have that friend that's constantly roasting you. It's not necessarily the words that are getting to you, right? It's that you've spent years being belittled by somebody, being misunderstood, and now they're playing their playful words to them just seems like disrespect to you. This actually was very huge in my life, okay? Guys, we need to understand that triggers are echoes of your past pains. So Carl Jung, was a Swiss psychiatrist, and he founded analytical psychology. So he was really big on, personality types, really big on understanding the unconscious and understanding the deeper layers of the human mind. And Carl Jung says that everything that irritates us about somebody else can lead to a deeper understanding about ourselves. So what does that mean? Well, let's break it down. You think that you're mad at somebody, but actually you're really mad at the version of yourself that still believes what they're saying, still believes that you're not good enough. Person that still feels invisible, not fully seen, not fully loved. Your body is remembering all of those sensations that you felt when you were being dismissed. So that's where you're getting that vibe of rejection. When you feel that, then you just start spiraling, right? But knowing that is where the healing begins, okay? When you stop blaming other people and stop blaming other people for pressing your buttons, and then you start asking, wait a minute, why is this button even here in the first place? that is where you start to get some clarity and you start to understand the true beginning of detachment. That's the beginning of detachment. So detachment is not apathy. It's not shutting down your feelings. It's not going into deafening silence, right? Resentful silence to your partner. It's not saying, whatever, I don't care. I don't really give a shit. Well, when deep down, you really do. Deep down, you truly care about something. True detachment is this. You can care deeply, but you don't let those feelings consume you. Have you ever felt like you were getting consumed by somebody else's problems or consumed by something that happened in your day or a comment or anything like that? That's what we mean. You can feel things without letting every emotion tear you down. Every emotion does not have to dictate your reaction, and you can observe things without having to absorb them. So I want you to picture this. Imagine your emotions are like the weather. Detachment is not knowing that it's raining outside and then letting the storm ruin your day. Detachment is getting an umbrella and knowing that you can handle the storm that's outside. It's not going to ruin your whole day. It's not going to cause you to totally, melt away. You got an umbrella. It's a skill of not reacting out of impulse, but instead you're responding from silence and wisdom. Now, let's make this real because I know that we've all been in situations and we've all experienced moments. So I'm going to give you guys a few different scenarios. Think about like a group chat, right? You have a group of friends or maybe even a family chat, right? We have a family chat. We also have a group chat with some of my friends, even a work chat. But if you're in the group chat and let's say you've got a big accomplishment, you won something, maybe you even got promoted, or you're sharing something that happened in your day, you throw it in the chat and nothing. Nobody replies, totally dead, right? You get nothing back. Well, you can start overthinking. Overthinking typically does kick in, right? Did I say too much? Are they ignoring me? Do they even care? Do they even care about me? Now your entire mood is wrecked, guys. Instead of spiraling out of control with self-doubt and overthinking, you have to remind yourself that their silence is not a reflection of your accomplishments, okay? Pause. Zoom out. And honestly, silence sometimes is just that. Sometimes it's just silence. Maybe they're just busy and they can't get back to you at that moment. So don't get into your head, because detachment is stepping outside of it so you don't have to spiral into self-doubt. Let's talk about your relationships. You ever felt like, what's going on with my partner? They seem off. Maybe your brain starts filling in the blanks. Are they mad at me? Did I do something wrong? Am I not enough today? You used to probably jump to fix it. This was something that I used to do. Oh gosh, I gotta fix this. I gotta figure out what's going on. You're over explaining. You're people pleasing. Have you ever felt this way? Well, guess what? You're bummed now because your expectations are not being met. The other person is not meeting you where you're at. Stop expecting people to meet you where you're at after you've already expressed it and they're still getting resistance. You do not have to keep pushing. Instead of rushing to fix them or fix things or fix the situation, fix their feelings, fix what you can control, which starts within. It starts with you. You can do this. Detach by just giving them their space. Give them their space and stay true to yourself. You can say, I love you without actually abandoning yourself. This detachment is so empowering. And when I did this in my relationship, it allowed me to truly focus. But what if you're at work, right? What if you're at work and it's your boss, it's your colleague that's making criticisms or critiques or comments? Well, you can look at it with two different perspectives. And of course, there are certain times where they are being overly aggressive and that doesn't apply. But in this instance, if you're getting real good feedback or criticism or commentary on your work or what you can do better, rather than thinking, am I failing? That's probably why I didn't get that promotion. Do they think that I'm incompetent? Yeah, I'm probably incompetent. Don't even think about that. Do not internalize criticism. Do not internalize any of these feelings that you're feeling. Don't internalize criticism as a personal failure either, because life is about failure. That is how you learn from your mistakes. That is how you learn. That is how you grow. And some of the biggest companies and most successful people in the world learn through their failures. So pause, ask yourself and reframe. Is this about my work Or is this about my worth, how I'm feeling, right? Separate yourself, your identity from your work. You are not your work. You are your own person. Separate yourself so that you can take the critique. See it as normal. See it as an opportunity to grow, especially if it's coming from a respected mentor and it's not malicious. It's actually truly coming from a great place. If they're trying to help you get to your goals, then look at it as an opportunity. Now, what if you're comparing yourself to people? And this is common because we live in the age of social media where everybody's just scrolling, and it's very easy to compare yourself, right? It's very easy to think, how did they get there? Why am I not there yet? You don't want to be doing that, guys. Yes, you can get inspiration from people, but don't do it so much where you start to feel bogged down, where you're starting to overly judge yourself. You're sinking into comparison and self-judgment. Do this instead. Remind yourself that social media is just that. It's like an illusion of reality. It's not actual real truth. So practice mindfulness. Practice gratitude for your life. Practice living in the present moment. For me, I truly have to practice being present and stepping away from work. I practice being present for my children so that when they come up and they ask, hey, Mom, yes, honey, I can actually pay attention and look in their eyes and appreciate the moment that is there. Be present. Now, this one I know you guys are familiar with, and this is the family triggers, okay? Now, we're talking about your mom, your dad, your brother, your sister, your cousin, your aunt, your uncle, your family, right? That know you very well, know about your life choices, know about what you've been through. And maybe you've done some things in your life. Shit, I know I've done things in my life, but I've changed just like you have, right? Maybe you've done some things in your life, you've worked hard to prove and get to where you are. But what if you have people around you that are constantly reminding you of the mistakes that you've made? Every time you hit a win, they go, yeah, but remember that thing that you did? Oh yeah, remember that time? Why do you think this is never gonna work? Because remember, you didn't do this. You didn't go to whatever it is that they say. Ask yourself, do they really have my best interest at heart? If you feel, look at your body. If you feel that your heart is racing, your defenses are rising, that is a sign. Instead of engaging in an argument where you're trying to prove yourself now, oh no, I know what I'm talking about. You guys just don't get it. Don't do any of that. What am I gonna say? I'm gonna say pause, okay? Pause. Don't get trapped into an argument with people that have already proven that they don't have your best interests at heart. And I know that it can be hard because it's family, but sometimes family doesn't have our best interests out of love, right? Maybe family doesn't understand that you're doing something different and you're changing your life, and they just can't comprehend it. And so they're scared for you. And in being scared for you, they're projecting this onto you. Don't be afraid to practice boundaries, mentally detach, and physically separate yourself. You do not have to constantly just be the sponge for other people's negativity. Their opinion is about them. It is not about you, okay? This can be hard, I know, with family, but no matter what, you do not have to settle for your circumstances. If you need time away, take some time. Go outside. You don't have to sit there and take it. Life is a journey, and everybody has made mistakes along the way. Okay, you're gonna mess up. And sometimes when you mess up, you feel this sense of shame, right? Shame is a very powerful emotion. I've made a ton of mistakes in my life, you guys, and I know what it's like to live in total shame and excuses. And all it is like a foggy cloud, right? I personally was in a domestic violence situation, and rather than getting help immediately, I did towards the end, but immediately I felt I was isolating myself, right? Nobody will understand what's going on. And all it did was create a spiral of negativity, shame. And you don't have to block your blessings, guys, all right? Drowning yourself in sorrows will consume you. Drowning yourself in pity will consume you. You are stronger than that. Remember that shame is the devil trying to block your blessings. I remember I was at church one day and my pastor gave this sermon, and it was so powerful. And he was talking about shame. And what he said was, shame is when the devil knows that God has something big planned in your life, because God does not want you to feel shame. God will have you reflect on what has happened. You pray for help and forgiveness, and you can learn from that. But God does not want you to feel shame. The devil wants you to feel shame, because what happens in shame? You stay low, you stay depressed, you don't push for more, you act out of negativity, maybe you get more angry, you're defensive, you're living in a very negative place, you're blocking your blessings and opportunities that are coming. So anytime you're possibly even feeling shame, just remember that that's the devil trying to block your blessings, and you've got something good coming, especially if you are working to change your life. So what can you do in that situation? Well, you can give yourself some grace. Treat yourself like a friend, because everybody makes mistakes. Practice self-compassion for yourself and plan your next step calmly and silently. You don't have to share what you're doing with everybody, especially family. What about rejection? Okay. Well, I'm a business funding specialist, and I work with a lot of people that get rejected. They're rejected by banks. Most businesses are rejected by banks. So we work with women and veterans and helping them. But maybe you're not. So we work with a lot of people that have been turned down for loans, for big projects, for opportunities, for hardships. And instead of spiraling into thinking, I'm not good enough, they don't want to lend to me, it's because I'm this, or that. No, it's not that, right? I need you to change your perspective and detach. Detaching in that situation is reminding yourself that rejection is a part of the process. Rejection is a part of life, and we go through seasons, and right now is just probably not your season, and something bigger is coming your way. But a guarantee for something to never come your way is to give up when rejection hits. Detach yourself from the rejection. Figure out what was the reason. Ask questions. Hey, why didn't I get the job? Why did you overlook me for the loan? Why didn't I get approved? Why did I get denied? Ask questions. Try to figure it out, because rejection is just a part of the process. And if you ask enough questions, you can figure out what needs to be fixed so you can get to the next step. Sarah Blakely founded Spanx, and she was rejected over and over and over and over again. She got an endorsement from Oprah, and she also grew her company to be a $1 billion company. Okay, Spanx, right? Who would have thought? Manufacturers, they laughed at her. Okay, she didn't have any retail experience, and they were like, well, who is this woman? And who got the last laugh, right? She just kept pushing. Mary Kay Ash, who founded Mary Kay Cosmetics. I grew up on Mary Kay Cosmetics, okay? If you guys remember the consultants that were out there, these women in their pink, and they were doing their thing, right? Mary Kay, she was in corporate America. She started her cosmetics line, and not only that, she built it to be this huge, amazing company, but she also taught other women how to be independent and build their own businesses. She literally changed lives, because when she was rejected, she didn't give up. She detached herself from the emotion and kept moving forward with the process. Both of these women turned no into a new direction, and you can too. So keep pushing through, because it is going to be your season. We all have that inner child, that version of us that just wants to be loved, but then that version of us that was hurt, and that version of us that was hurt and never faced those wounds, that's the part that gets triggered. Emotional detachment is not about suppressing your feelings and being totally apathetic. It's about facing your inner child and figuring out, digging into what happened to you. It means, for lack of a better word, really just reparenting yourself, right? I had to reparent myself in my 30s, and I'm still reparenting myself as I enter my 40s. Instead of spiraling into self-sabotage, now I pause. And you can too. You have to ask yourself, like, what is hitting me right now? What does this part of me need right now? Is it validation? Is it reassurance? Is it comfort? What is it that I need right now? Then you give that to yourself. Stop seeking it from other people who are not going to understand, or who are unwilling to understand, or who won't give it to you. Most people are living in the subconscious. We're just going through the day. But once you tap out of that subconscious and enter your conscious, that's when you find true power, because the subconscious will trick you. It will have you believing that whatever was thrown your way is just the way it is. Well, this is just the way I am. I just get upset easy. Well, I don't deal with if you don't deal with your triggers, they're going to just keep popping up, and they'll pop up in the craziest, most unexpected ways. You'll just walk through life just thinking that you deserve the bare minimum. This is just the way it is. The world is out to get you. There's no opportunities for you. And who really wants to live like that? That's what happens when you're ruled by your emotions. But the great thing about it is you can take your power back. Because if you don't, your triggers are just going to keep running the show, and you're just going to keep saying, life is so unfair. Nobody likes me. They'll never approve me. I'll never get anywhere. The world is against me. When in reality, you're just reliving a pattern and you're continuing the pattern. But now you can stop doing that because now you are aware. You're aware that you can make things change. You have the power to make things change. And now you can look for opportunities instead of being used to this adversity that you're telling yourself, right? Doors will open when you make changes in your personal life. So how do you do this? Well, I'm going to give you 4 tools that you can start practicing today. And the first tool is going to be slow your reaction. You've heard me say it the whole video. Slow down. Pause. When you're triggered, I need you to count 5 seconds before you're responding. Give your brain some time to catch up with your heart and your mouth, because once you say something, you know you can't take it back. Use that opportunity to reflect, ground yourself, take a deep breath, touch your heart, and say out loud, I choose peace. I know it sounds totally cheesy, but doing so, I choose peace, I choose abundance. Abundance is my divine birthright. Doing that will calm you down, okay? Or choose whatever phrase that you need to say for yourself. Do that within those 5 seconds. And the second thing I need you to do is recognize the sensations in your body. Earlier, I talked about the tightening that I would feel in my chest. It was like a ball that I would feel kind of start to ignite, right? And then you could kind of feel the sensations kind of drifting out towards my chest. When that feeling would arise, I know I'm starting to feel something. Somebody's about to take me out of my element. So I take a deep breath or remove myself from the situation. But recognizing and being aware of those sensations that are happening in the body are so powerful. It sounds totally cheesy, guys, but I'm telling you, all of this stuff works. The third thing I need you to do is journal. Write it down. Get your thoughts out. All throughout the day, you're constantly taking in information from other people, from your family, from work, the emails, phone calls. You're doing things for other people. So take a moment to journal, to meditate, to get in touch with yourself. Do it in the morning, do it at night. But whatever time of day you choose, take that time for yourself in peace, outside, maybe in your room, but somewhere where you can actually sit down and truly reflect, because doing so helps you stay in touch with who you really are on the inside. Why did you get triggered? Why are they taking me out of my element? What do I really want? These are the times, those silent moments that help you get to those answers. If you're feeling like you're ignored, give yourself some attention, honey. That is number 4. I need you to do some self-care. Okay? Self-care. Take care of yourself. Go for a walk. Go for a run, eat healthy, connect with a therapist if you need to. Do something for yourself. That way you're not looking to others for that external approval. That is the real glow up, okay? When you master detachment, then you stop performing for other people. You stop chasing closure from people that don't want to give it to you, and now you have clarity. You're gonna stop begging people to understand you, and the people that do understand you will come to you. You will connect with those people. But you don't have to be committed to people that are committed to misunderstanding you and have already expressed that they have no intention of making any effort. That's the part where you have to start protecting your energy. You don't need everyone to like you. You don't need everyone to understand, and you don't have to over-explain. You need you. You need you focused, you need you grounded, and you need you free. And when you realize that the way that people are treating you says a whole lot more about them than it does about you, that's where you'll find your real power. So let them judge, let them talk, let them go. Okay, your peace is your responsibility. All right, guys, that's it for today. So if this hit home for you, do me a favor and hit that like button and that subscribe button, because the YouTube algorithm, it will allow me to make more free courses and trainings just like this for you guys. Second thing I need you to do is drop a piece in the comments if you are reclaiming your peace, you are reclaiming your calm, and like this video so YouTube can push it out to someone else who needs to hear it. Don't forget to check out our blog, link in the description for more business and mindset tools. That's it for today, guys. I'm Dominique, and see you next time.